Hello. Welcome back to Nothing in the Crib. Hi, learn. All right. Back to school started. I have 2 third graders. So we'll get into, you know how much I love bitching about public school. My children go to public school. I went to public school. I was fortunate. I went to a wonderful one. But, is that me? Okay. But they're not all wonderful. My kids are very fortunate. They go to probably the best one here, but it's still a tiny prison. 100%. And then we'll get into my political bullshit. So, public school. Public school sets you up to be able to endure, shit that's unpleasant. Like working. It literally sets you up to have like a shitty fucking office job so that you're able to sit still in your chair in your little fucking cubicle or what the fuck ever you do and not bitch and take direction. You can imagine, so it's my son and my stepson. My son is almost always a problem. Shocking, though that may be. He's a problem because I hammer into their heads to be respectful. Always be respectful first. Your default setting as a fucking human being should be to be respectful of other people. At no point in time am I going to curate my child to shut that shit completely off, though. If somebody is telling you to do or say something that's a little fucking sketchy, you can ask why. I want to smash him in the face when he does it to me, but also, whatever. He's just like me. It's my fault, so I can only bitch so much. But, I want them to be respectful, especially of their teachers, because, god damn it, that is like the worst motherfucking job. But, I always get a phone call home. I think the longest we've made it before I've gotten one is like 2 weeks. We're on day 2, so we'll see what happens. Eventually, most teachers break with him because he just always wants to know why and would like to be provided with a logical explanation for things, which is not always conducive to an elementary school classroom. Admittedly so. But he'll figure it the fuck out. I want to say I figured it out, but I didn't figure it out like that. I was a very, very well-behaved child. Again, shocking though that may be. I really liked school though. I love learning, and I'm very curious. And my son is a jock, which I also was that too, but he'll find his path. I'm not worried about it. So let's get into school food, because this is my biggest fucking complaint. So most people don't know this. The same system for establishing prison food and public school food is exactly the same. And I'm not being facetious. I'm not embellishing when I say that. The government gets contract bids, just like everything else. And whereas if it's like defense contracts, they just shell out as much money as fucking humanly possible. When it comes to your safety, your children, or anything else, it goes to the lowest fucking bidder. So if you look, literally line by line, of a comparison of public school food to prison food, I'm not fucking with you when I tell you it's almost identical. The food that they feed your children, even in the nicest of public schools, is trash shit and unhealthy as fuck and not good quality. Everything is going to be the maximum sprayed with anything it possibly can. There's going to be no organic anything. So you're right off the bat, you're getting pesticides, you're getting folate. And then they wonder why all these kids are running around like they have fucking ADD and they can't sit in their chairs. If it's humanly possible, please pack your children's lunch. It's I know that's not feasible for everybody. Like, if you have a child that receives, like, free school lunch, nobody's ever going to shit on you for that, okay? It's just do what you can, I guess. You know, if that's the only way your kid eats is free school lunch, then please try not to feel bad. Like, I understand. The most important thing at the end of the day is that your child has a meal. Trust me. But, you know, if you can pack your kids' lunch, pack it. Because the carbs that they're getting are full of sugar, completely sprayed with folate, and we'll get into the folate thing. I know I've talked about it before, but it needs to stick in your fucking head. Again, any vegetable, any fruit that they get is canned corn syrup, non-organic, and the meat is the lowest possible fucking quality they possibly can get. If you continue to feed your kids this shit, you know, this is the stuff that causes cancer, heart disease, diabetes. And that's not even adding in, like, the people that give their kids, like, sugary shit. The fact that they allow children to buy, they have, like, a whole slew of, like, I know this. I worked in a fucking public school here for 2 years. And it was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. And that's saying a lot. But they have a whole mess of, like, Oreos and candy bars and cookies and all this fucking bullshit that you can, you know, your kids can buy if they have extra money. Why are we allowing that to fucking happen? Why are you letting fucking kids, half of which are already off the fucking wall just because they're children, so they're full of energy and nobody wants to just sit in a fucking chair, have sugar? And as far as the folate is concerned, you should only be, I don't eat carbs, so I'm going way back down the ladder here. If you're eating carbs, which are non-essential, friendly fucking reminder, you have to get organic. You must. I'm talking organic rice, organic potatoes, you know. I would opt for, like, some kind of organic gluten-free bread if you can. When I was on prep, I would eat sprouted grain Ezekiel bread, and that wasn't too bad. So if you're going to do it, go that route. But if it's non-organic in America, it is, if it says enriched, if it says fortified, any of that bullshit fucking jargon that for whatever fucking reason they're allowed to use, don't fucking buy it. The only thing that means is that it is sprayed with folate. Your body can't process folate. It's the same reason that it drives me fucking mad when folic acid is in prenatal vitamins. This is not a fucking thing. That is not naturally occurring in your fucking body. And the fact that almost every doctor you go to will tell you that you should be taking that as a pregnant fucking person, you're giving yourself, if you notice that you're getting, like, postpartum depression, but you're getting it, like, while you're still pregnant, guess what? You're in for a bumpy fucking ride, and it's the folic fucking acid in your goddamn prenatal. So they're spraying all of our fucking shit, all of our crops with folate, which you can't fucking process. Guess how that manifests itself as a symptom? It literally, coming from your gut and your inability to process that, will result in anxiety and depression. That's what happens. That's just it. That was why when I first got on methylfolate, you know, the combination of being on the methylfolate, so I'm processing any, like, naturally occurring folic acid that I'm consuming, and then stopping eating the sprayed on fucking folate, within 3 days, I was literally crying because it was the first day I went an entire day in my whole fucking life that I can remember where I didn't just get that irrational, you know, you're just sitting there and all of a sudden you get, like, a pain in your stomach and then you have, like, anxiety out of nowhere. And you're like, what the fuck? That's what that is. You know, there's lots of other things that you don't realize that are coming from your gut that are causing that, but that's a fucking major one. And that is on all of public school, carb, anything. Bread, fucking, all the breakfast shit. They're giving your kids fucking cereal. They're giving your kids fucking cereal in the morning for breakfast. Stop giving your kids fucking cereal for breakfast in the morning, you assholes. You're literally poisoning them. You know, you're going to slather sunscreen on your kid and do this, that, and the other thing. And don't go out in the fucking sun because you're going to get cancer. Bitch, you're giving your kid motherfucking cancer. You are the fucking one. You're inflaming the fuck out of their little bodies. That is what's causing heart disease. That is what is causing diabetes, Alzheimer's, fucking cancer, everything. Everything is stemming from the same bullshit, and it's the fact that all of our fucking food is poison. I'm not getting into that side of it yet. But, and then the meat. They're feeding these fucking animals just the most pesticide-laced bullshit fucking feed. And then in turn, those animals are then going into your child. So you might as well just be like, take Roundup. Just take Roundup and fucking dump it down their fucking throat for fuck's sake. I understand it's not fair. I get it that it's impossible. But instead of getting, down and forlorn about it, why don't we start blaming the fucking people we should be? The fucking government. It's your motherfucking government that allows all these people to poison you. Because at the end of the day, it's your motherfucking government that's getting the money for it. Do you think people in Congress really eat the same shit that they fucking dish out to you? They don't. And I think it's just as unfair as you do that these are your fucking choices. You can either buy the swill that is poison at the very bottom that you can afford. And this is I have not always had money, okay? I grew up super fucking rich, and then I was super fucking poor when my parents' addiction fucking spiraled out of control. And then I stayed super fucking poor for a really long fucking time. I get it. When Connor was a baby, not a baby, but between 1 and 2, I went without feeding myself on several occasions because I had to feed him, and I wanted to be able to feed him not a Pop-Tart. And it's so fucking unfair. It's so unfair that the shit that people can afford is the stuff that is the worst for you. And then if you can afford it, you can get, fruit and vegetables and meat. But guess what? Even that's laced with all this fucking shit. And then the thing that is 3 times as expensive is all of your organic and grass-fed and pasture-raised, and that's not fair. And all this bullshit that people are so fucking pissed about, and you guys bitch and you fucking fight, you're letting them poison you. You're letting them poison your children. Why is that not the top of the fucking list? That and teacher pay should be, if you have a child, even if you don't have a fucking child, you should support this shit because these are the people this is the next generation. These are the fucking children. What is more sacred than that? Than your fucking kids? You should care. And you should care about your goddamn self. So yes, if it is at all feasible, and I know right now is the worst time, this is a huge fucking ask because everything is so fucking expensive. Whenever you can, buy organic. Whenever you can, get something grass-fed, cage-free. Do what you can. Stop. Bare minimum, stop with processed foods. I know it's hard. I know your kids are good. If you are someone who has been feeding your kid this shit, it's going to be hard. But you are the parent. You're the parent. I know it sucks to listen to your kid be sad and cry about anything. But you're the parent. This is what is best for your child. This is what is best for you. So just do what you can and be aware. I know sometimes in the morning you'll wake up and you'll be like, fuck, I really don't feel like making my kids lunch today. It's fine, just go have school lunch. Don't do that. Don't do that. If there was ever a reason to wake up early and get your fucking shit together, it's going to be for your fucking child. So do it. Do what I do. I pack their lunches the night before. I don't fuck around. I do everything ahead of time. I do everything ahead of time to ensure that it gets fucking done. And as soon as you get into a routine, I promise you it becomes second nature. I promise you it becomes easy. And it's so fucking worth it. And also, be more supportive of teacher pay increase. The fuck all, we have money for everything in the world, it seems, except for educating the children? What the fuck? This is how you end up with subpar educators. The pay is terrible. I kept my pastry chef job the entire time I was also at the school, just so we're all clear. I know very few teachers who do not have 2 jobs. So instead of going home, working on lesson plans thoroughly and in a relaxed environment, going to bed early, getting a good night's sleep so that they can wake up and be their best self to show up for your children, they don't. They rush home, they change, they go to their second job, they cram fucking lessons overnight, get 4 hours of sleep, and show up however you would feel like if you got 4 hours of sleep and worked 2 jobs. That's not okay. And I was just as guilty of it. I fucking did it. I had to. And I couldn't do it at the end because this public school system is so fucked from the administration down. The people who are bearing the brunt of it, the teachers themselves, have the least fucking capability of changing it. They're the first person that everybody ignores. People who are in the administrative buildings, they don't give a fuck. I'm sure there are some. I've known a few who actually fucking care. But the process of getting anything done, the people that those people fucking answer to, I don't know what everybody thinks is going on, that it's just some simple fucking thing to fix. It's not. Teachers should be making a minimum starting salary of $60,000. Bare fucking minimum. And even now, that's not even a fucking livable wage, so you're still fucking fucked. But they make half that, just so you know. I know most people don't fucking know that. But that's what they make. And then you want to get into like the para-assists or the one-on-one assistants or the other school staff who is interacting as much, if not more, with your child than their teacher. You can cut that salary in half too. Imagine working in a school and having a job where you're one-on-one with a fucking student and making $300 a week. It's fucked up, right? It's very fucking fucked up, especially when you see how much they're making at the fucking top. But it's just like everything else. As soon as government and money fucking just incestuously fuck something, it's destroyed. It's destroyed. And, you know, you got people like me who will show up to the meetings and write emails and cause a problem. I'm not well liked by CCPS, as you can imagine, because I'm the first fucking person to call them out on their shit, because I saw it fucking firsthand. It's the same, and again, and I know I've brought this up before, your children are not allocated an appropriate amount of time to eat their lunch at school. And I don't know if everybody knows that. So if your child comes home and their lunch isn't eaten and they tell you that they didn't have time, or the teacher this, that, and the other thing, and your immediate reaction is to tell them to stop lying, or that's not true, you're not telling me the truth, you better believe your motherfucking child, because they're telling the truth. If something happens when those kids are walking from, let's say, recess or wherever to the fucking lunchroom, let's say another class, let's say a kid with a disability has like a full-blown fucking meltdown and everybody has to stop and like the procedure for the child has to go through, something happens where it takes like 7 or 8 minutes. That leaves your kid with like 12 minutes by the time they get in there and sit down to eat their fucking food. And that's if they don't have to wait in line with other fucking kids. And if your kid is buying school lunch, you can take another 5 minutes off of that. By the time they line up, go through the school line, you have to pray and hope that something doesn't happen in the fucking school lunch line, because that's going to take even more time off. Please pack your children, when you pack their lunches, pack stuff that is like pre-opened, easy to eat, doesn't take a lot of time. You know, I get very fucking upset about this because it's not fucking fair. Like, these children, it's their fucking lunch. You're already asking so many impossible, ridiculous fucking things of these children, and then you're not going to feed them properly, and you're going to rush them. What about kids who have like anxiety because they are shy or feel fucking weird? Well, this shit This is why I ended up quitting after 2 years. I was coming home and crying every fucking day. I would cry every day because of how unfair it is for these kids. And I believe in public school. You know, I love that private schools are there for kids, and I think that's a wonderful opportunity. But there is something that sets your child up for very real life when they go to public school. And it's a much more realistic window into how life is going to be. And why would you make it so hard on children? That's, especially if you have kids, like when I got older and my home life was like just fucking insanity and trash shit garbage. And I would go to morning prayer. I purposely did this, you know, and thank God I did. It made me a wonderful athlete, and it gave me a sense of discipline that is quite extraordinary. But I would get up at 4. I would be in the pool for morning workout for track at 5 a.m. Do that for however long, get ready, go to school all day, go to track practice for hours afterwards. You know, I would want to stay at school for as long as I could because I didn't want to go home. And there's a lot of kids who don't want to go home. And they should be able to have a safe, happy place to be. And that should be school. You should be paying teachers enough to be happy. You should be taking good enough care of kids and having them have a schedule and realistic fucking things. This is insane. I've never in my life until the last couple years support, like, not that I didn't support homeschooling, but like now I'm like, hey, you should fucking homeschool. And that's a really viable option nowadays. And please don't let anybody talk you out of it if you're thinking about it. And please don't let anybody scare you that it's too hard. It's not. You can do anything for your fucking kid. So don't let somebody bully you out of that shit. Well, now that I've just roasted public schooling, I'd be concerned, but nobody's going to give my kid a hard time because A, everybody's always a little leery of what's going to come out of his mouth. B, if he does say something stupid, you know I'm right behind him. All right, let's get into something more mild like politics, eh? Kamala. This bitch is the gift that keeps on fucking giving, and I cannot tell you how thankful I am for it. So, we've all seen, hopefully, the many beautiful pictures and memes that are stemming from this of her faking crowds at her rallies with AI, which, ironically enough, was brought to everybody's attention by, I don't know, some flaming idiot fucking liberal who thought it was a Trump rally and started nitpicking and blasting and calling out all the pieces of AI before realizing that it was hers. So thank you for that, idiot. And first of all, do you know that this bitch was requiring ID to get into her rallies? I find that fucking hilarious. So you don't give a fuck if somebody comes into this country and has no ID and who the fuck they are. You don't give a fuck if somebody doesn't have an ID to vote. But you're gonna ID people to get into your fucking rally? You're a dumb bitch. And a fucking hypocrite. And we'll just throw that on the list of shit of do as I say and not as I do fucking bullshit. Also, the idea of not taxing tipped workers and employees, like service industry, huge. That's not her fucking idea. And it goes beyond it not being her fucking idea. First of all, it was Trump's idea years ago. That's all well documented. More and fucking importantly, is this bitch so out of touch with reality that she doesn't realize that, like, we can look stuff up? In 2022, not only was she not saying that she wasn't going to, tax tipped workers and shit, she herself voted 2 track and tax tipped workers. Not only did she vote for it, her vote was one of the deciding votes that passed it along. So thank you for that, bitch. I'm happy that you decide to just support whatever is waving in front of your face. I understand that that's how it works when you're a whore, which is where you come from, and I get it. I support that behavior. You do you, bitch, but don't take your fucking whorish behavior of being somebody's fucking side bitch. Montel Williams, I'm disappointed in you, by the way. And bring that into a real job. That's not how that works. You can't just, it's not a dick waving in front of your fucking face, bitch. Every idea is not a penis. Stop treating it as such. Get your shit together. Fucking embarrassment. That was just on Saturday she fucking said that shit too. Pissing me off. I don't know. I remember. Sorry. I had touched on the supplements and stuff because I hadn't talked about it in like 6 months. I realized that I added a lot more shit since the last time I did an in-depth thing on that. And I'm doing so much now that I don't know what is doing what, so I won't stop any of it. I have become unhinged. I've never like seen actual, as soon as you start seeing actual results with something, like real results, which I'm starting to realize I never actually have, I'm like, holy fuck. So now I'm petrified to not take something and even fuck around and figure out what's doing what. So I wrote them all down because I couldn't remember them off the top of my head anymore, which shouldn't surprise anybody because my brain is probably like Swiss cheese in places from being addled with drugs in my past. All right, so this is all the actual supplements I'm taking. I'm going to go over like the face, teeth, and other bullshit too that I've added because it's making a difference. I say it because I don't know what it is. But, okay, so here's all the pills I'm taking. Conjugated linoleic acid, B12, iron, quercetin bromelain, methylfolate, that's a biggie, glucosamine chondroitin with turmeric because I'm old, zinc, a probiotic, magnesium, alpha-lipoic acid to make sure everything I'm taking works, ashwagandha, biotin, trimethylglycine, another big one, vitamin C, vitamin K2 and D3, also very important. They're all important, but and then EPA, DHA for my clear concentrated fish oil. I'm also taking Nutrafol. I can't give you a full report on that one yet. I'm only a month in. And I don't know if that is what is contributing to, I don't think I can tell what's going on with my hair. I always say this, I should take pictures before, but I don't bother because nothing ever happens. And then I ordered a beef organ supplement. And then, of course, I take a shitload of collagen in my coffee. Make sure if you're getting stuff like that, make sure shit is hydrolyzed so it's actually like able to be absorbed by your body. I see a lot of people buying stuff that is not, and you might as well not be taking anything. And then my face stuff, I did change my face stuff since the last time I talked about this. Because I know I had talked about like getting off the Olay and all that other bullshit, but I was still using L'Oreal hyaluronic acid, and then for whatever reason, I didn't just think to do this right out of the gate. I went through all of my stuff, and I just found completely plain, organic, only that one ingredient versions of all of this shit. And huge fucking difference. Also, I'm not poisoning myself anymore. Prefer to do that in other ways. So for makeup removal, micellar water. Can't go wrong. This is a weird one. Not weird. This isn't weird. In reality, this is perfect, but I wash my face with oil. I wash my face with, it's like a mixture of like argan oil and olive oil. And that really makes my skin super nice. You have to be careful because this is one of those things where people will tell you that's going to make you break out. No, it's not, bitch. Your food is making you break out. I absolutely fucking promise you. The shit that is causing problems in your skin, if you stop eating sugar and carbs for a month, I guarantee you, your any kind of psoriasis, any kind of acne, any kind of fucking bullshit on your face, gone. And unless you're willing to sit there and try it for a month, don't fucking come at me about this shit. No, it fucking won't. Go fuck yourself. You're an idiot. Your food is fucking up your skin. Anyway, witch hazel for toner. Organic, just witch hazel. It's an astringent. It closes your pores. Please, switch. Stop using the fucking bullshit. For the hyaluronic acid, it's the only thing that's in it is just organic, pure hyaluronic acid. If you look at the ingredients on the one from L'Oreal, it's just all fucking chemicals. It's all fucking chemicals. And there's no fucking reason for it to be in there. Cocoa butter and shea butter for my skin. I do rosemary oil. I think I'm doing like 3 drops per teaspoon of rosemary oil into coconut oil because you need a carrier oil for the rosemary oil. And I'll massage that into my scalp like once a week. That has made a difference in my hair. And then you can like run it through the rest of your hair, and I'll usually wrap my head in saran wrap for a few hours. You do have to wash your hair twice. I do anyway. And for shampoo and conditioner, I use the Kitsch bars. It's made with rice water protein. And there's no sodium lauryl sulfate, none of that fucking bullshit. That shit literally makes your hair fall out. I'm confused why it's even legal, like everything else in this fucking ghetto-ass fucking place. I'm sorry, I take that back. It's not ghetto here. It's ghetto almost everywhere else in the world. We really have it good, even though it's just frustrating to realize that we're being poisoned by money-grubbing fucking whores. Castor oil for my eyebrows and eyelashes. A little bit right before I go to bed. I only do my eyelashes a couple times a week. I think I read that somewhere. I don't fucking know. I do red light therapy mask on my face. Okay, so this one, I kept seeing that it took a long time to get results, and it took me probably a whole month before I saw any kind of fucking difference. But it decreases the capillaries. I have a lot of like broken capillaries, just the same way I have like varicose veins. Not so much anymore, but it'll get rid of those. It'll clear up your fucking skin. After probably 2 months, like you literally start to see like your face starts to tighten because it's reactivating the collagen in your fucking skin and making you produce it again. I don't know if the hydrogen water's doing anything for me, but fuck it. I keep fucking doing it. So every morning, first thing before I have coffee, before I do anything, I have a bottle, make it in my little machine of hydrogen water. Chug that, and then I make sure first thing I consume after that water is a protein shake. And then I'll take my first couple of vitamins. I have to space my vitamins out throughout the day because if I took all of them at once, I would immediately fucking vomit. And then I like to take I take the magnesium, zinc, and a couple other things like purposely right before bed. But also coffee. I don't have coffee or caffeine of any kind until I've been awake for at least an hour and a half. And that's to let everything, I can't remember the name of it. It's the bullshit that like makes you have a crash and feel all antsy. If you let that naturally course out of your body, which it does in the morning, after about 90 minutes, then you don't have a crash from the caffeine after. Teeth. All right. Stop eating fluoride. Stop consuming fluoride. The fuck all if you're drinking tap water, then, just end it now because it's going to happen. So fluoride makes you literally fucking retarded. And this is how I know that our entire healthcare system is a scam. I don't know a single motherfucking dentist who is a proponent of that. So I use an activated charcoal-based toothpaste that's fluoride-free. Scrape your tongue at night. Scrape your tongue at night. Start doing that. Trust me. That's a thing. I've always done that. I've always, like, brushed the fuck out of my tongue. I like the way it feels. I don't know what that means. But, it makes a really big difference. Also, floss. Fucking floss your teeth. Floss every day. I usually floss twice a day because I don't like... It's the same reason if the inseam of my fucking socks are, like, in the wrong place and I just... If I can feel shit in there, I don't fucking like it. You can prevent so much fucking shit just by flossing. Like, so much fuckery in your fucking teeth. And I know that sounds like it would be like a duh thing, but yet people don't fucking do it. That does more to prevent cavities and shit than, you know, brushing with Crest toothpaste. Idiots. Not you guys idiots. Like Crest and Colgate, those companies, they're fucking idiots. I don't know, some of you are probably idiots too. I am. I also own... Oh, fuck. This is one of those ones where I'm not going to be like, you should go and get this and do this. You probably shouldn't. But we all know how I like to fucking DIY every goddamn thing for myself. I don't know what I'm achieving out of my brain from that. But I have, since I was quite young, actually... This is my father's fault because he would encourage, anytime I expressed any interest in like medical anything, he was like, yeah, go for it. So I've had a professional like dental toolkit for a very long time. And I clean my own teeth. Like I clean my teeth. The real kind. Like that hurts a little bit if you don't do it right and you have to be very fucking careful. I've never had a cavity. I've never had braces. I haven't had dental work. I'm actually the sound of like a dental drill will put me over the fucking edge. And I don't get like that with a lot of stuff. But for that specifically, because I have no correlation in my brain of that like not causing physical pain or having gone through it. So as soon as I hear that shit, also probably watching Little Shop of Horrors when I was small over and over again. Because Steve Martin's character was my favorite. The insane psychopath dentist. I don't know what that's supposed to mean either. And lastly, I use an EMF mat before bed to ground myself. And again, I don't know what the fuck is doing what. I was going to buy those sheets that you can lay on before realizing that not only do you have to lay on them naked, and it's like laying on a piece of like... feels like a wetsuit. It's not good. And you immediately get like sweaty. So I did not opt for those. And someone had told me that they also did not like that. So I just got the foot mat. And so if you have the time availability for that to like, you know, sit for an hour like I do, because I'm a fucking piece of shit, then I would probably go for that. But if you don't, you know, you can get the sheets and stuff. I'm sure they're way better for you because that's like 8 hours versus 1 hour. I just know that like I have a lot of like touch sensory stuff. I can't do that. I can't fucking lay on a goddamn wetsuit. I'm not a seal bitch. All right. So next week, I think I'm going to go for it. I think I'm going to try it. I'm going to be in Chicago. I'm so fucking excited. I'm going to go see one of my best friends. Pizza tits. That's what I call her. So I think I'm going to bring my stuff and try to do a podcast from Chicago. Maybe I can get like somebody getting shot out the window as a visual in the background or something. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. But I'm so excited to see her. And I'm so excited to at least try to do a podcast there. It's not going to be good. The sound quality will be absolutely terrible, I fucking promise you. And if we both laugh at the same time, then my iPad will break. But we'll deal with that when we deal with it. All right. Well, until next time, kitties, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Love you, bye.